What is the stupidest thing anyone has ever said to you? Oh, many. 1. I think you are gay. 2. Your English writing is not good. 3. You do not have etiquette. 3. We do not want to transfer losers to our school. 4. You made a female staff cry. 5. You are rude to staff and clients. 6. The survey will be confidential. 7. You told a female staff to correct her timesheet. 8. You need to replace it. Explain your bullshit with you are fabricating facts. 9. You complained in social media about us, which hurts our reputation, and we have speak up policy. 10. I can continue. I am still not affected by any of that. In March 2003, as we were gearing up to invade Iraq, another kid in my church's youth group said we should just kill all Iraqis, everyone, men, women, and children. I tore into him and got pretty heated. Said that's genocide and asked him what the hell is his problem. Our priest turned to me and simply said, "Wow, that's the most I've ever heard you talk." Contextually, the dumbest thing I've ever heard anyone say to me. Like, fuck you, Padre. I'm doing your job. I trace a lot of turning away from Catholicism to that guy. In grade 6, my class read a poem about ptarmigans. Every word starting with T was changed to PT. The teacher said that ptarmigans were a made-up animal. I countered that they were a type of Arctic bird. So he sent me to the school library to find evidence. I came back with an encyclopedia, turned to the entry for ptarmigan, and he read it out to the class and told everyone that teachers don't know everything and they should never be afraid to speak up. One of the best teachers I ever had, thanks Mr. Murphy. Used to work with a morbidly obese guy who swore that cardio was anything that made your heart beat faster. A few of us at work were talking about training for a half marathon we were going to run together. He came to the conversation with something like, "I drink coffee and energy drinks. They make my heart beat faster, which is the same thing as cardio. I don't know why you all waste your time running for hours when you could just do what I do." He was completely serious and could not be convinced otherwise. One time I was swimming in the sea with a girlfriend. When we were out pretty far in the sea, she told me that she was gonna go back ashore to find a bathroom because she needed to pee. I told her nobody would care if she just peed in the sea. To which she responded she couldn't because she just got her period and had a tampon in. I believe she was about 22 when this happened, and I could not figure out how she had never heard that it's 2 different holes. For reference, I'm a 25-year-old high school dropout, and my son's mother is 28. And in college. Oh my God, did I impregnate someone who is mentally handicapped and let her raise our child? I didn't argue with her BC. I did not have the crayons or the time to explain how idiotic that was to her. GF once asked me if there were 2 moons, as she could see the moon in the UK whilst on video call to me in Amsterdam, where I could also see the moon. That said, she beat it recently by explaining to me that when TVS were black and white, the whole world was too. When I questioned her by asking, "Do you think the grass and sky are black-white?" she said they must have been. I later determined she thought somebody had invented colors. I worked in transportation, and someone in customer service wanted to do a same-day delivery from Dallas to El Paso. It was already 4 p.m. on a Friday. I tried to calmly explain it's a 10-hour drive and there is no guarantee you'd even find someone to do it. To which she said, "Oh, that can't be true, they are in the same state." It wasn't even the first or last person shocked at how big Texas is and the drive times involved. At grocery store, a young couple looking at bacon and trying to decide which to buy. I told them the deli department had Benton smoked bacon on sale, and they should try it if they like really good bacon. The young woman looked at me and cocked her head and said, "But is it organic?" I paused for a sec and reply, "It's bacon, it's from a pig. They live in their own filth." This wasn't said to me directly, however, when I heard it, it was hurtful. She asked my dad's sis-in-law if my bent posture was psychological. When it's proven twice over, it's not the issue. It's about to be proven a 3rd or 4th time that that statement is simply incorrect. I've been fighting that statement ever since I heard it. One night, I was showing a friend how my car and phone would link up and show me, and my car was using Google Maps. So I showed her, and it was the satellite view, with a blue dot on it, and she looked at it, and said that's not right. That picture shows it being daytime, and she's highly educated and works in the medical field. For me, it's not stupid, but I just find it amusing. So this one friend of mine suddenly said to me, "It must be nice to have a small eyes." And I said, "Why do you think so?" "Cozzz, you don't get much dust in your eyes. I was like, "Girl." And she said it as if she was stating a 100 facts and asking me why I was laughing next to her. I was stationed in Germany in the late 80s, 90s. Lex as to why the Germans didn't celebrate. A dude once told me he was excited to celebrate the 4th with the Germans and asked if they did fireworks. I love you, my brothers, but some of you are dumb. My brother played flag football when we were both in elementary school. My parents and I were at one of his games when the game got delayed after everyone heard thunder. A guy behind my parents said, "Why are they delaying the game? It's just thunder. There's no lightning. That the moon being visible in the daytime must be a mistake." She started by telling some kids in the playground that they couldn't really see the moon as they claimed, because it only came out at night. But then one of them pointed to it. "Oh, well, it must be mistake." Friend told me that he heard that one girl classmate considered me as silly or stupid because I don't talk to many people or don't talk with people. It's not easy to remember what she exactly said. Well, if you are introvert, it doesn't mean that you are silly. My cousin went on a road trip when she got married. They stopped by NT Rushmore, took a photo, then posted it on Facebook. One of her friends then comments ... It's amazing how nature can make that. I know it wasn't said directly to me, but I saw it with my own eyes. "Oh, you're going to New Mexico, the newer part in Mexico." A girl in my law class who thought there was a city in Mexico called New Mexico. She didn't know that it was a state. Honestly, I wouldn't blame her, but she had her laptop in front of her to look it up. A former co-worker, now fired, but not for this, was adamant that our non-profit could not offer any donor exclusives. In the same conversation, she wanted to schedule an event that was open only to donors. When I pointed out the contradiction, she didn't understand. During a soccer game, a guy was screaming at me for hitting the ball with my hand, screaming at the ref saying it should be a penalty. He was arguing that even as the goalie, I was not allowed to punch the ball. I was only allowed to catch it with my hands. Childless 21-year at work told me, 40, father to 2 kids, that if your baby dies, it probably doesn't hurt as much as an older kid dying, because you've not got to know them as well as, say, an 8-year-old. I mean, I get the thinking, but goddamn bro. Teens were messing around with my pins and I yelled out, "Oh, fuck off you pricks," and one yelled back, "Yeah, whatever you basketball player." So bizarre. 10 years later, and this memory still pops into my head and I genuinely question what he meant. Alaska, not from anywhere you can't actually drive to Alaska from. She just thought Alaska was an island because of all those grade school history book maps, where it floats off to the side by itself. She was in her 20s. The dirt got dirty. My mum's ex-husband to her when he broke the pot to her favorite plant, and then threw out the dirt in favor of fresh soil. He also somehow chopped off part of the roots, and the plant didn't survive long after that. Final year of high school, in class, a guy asked the teacher what's the first month of the year. I always get confused. It's September, right? He wasn't joking, BTW. He was generally very stupid, but this one was just his masterpiece. By an American friend, who was very nice. We like the IRA as they are freedom fighters. 2 weeks late, after the Oklahoma bombing, I asked if he felt the same way about Timothy McVeigh. Strangely enough, he did not see the connection. These 2 football guys in college asked me when Lord of the Rings took place, like, How long ago? I carefully approached the question and found out they indeed were curious about when in history it happened. They were good dudes. Ian David Hilbert once said that if you put 10 of the smartest people together and asked them to come up with the dumbest thing in the world, they wouldn't come up with anything dumber than astrology. Probably not the stupidest. But thinking that everything rotates around the Earth and the Earth is standing still, so the sun, moon, stars are all moving around the Earth. No woman is in her 40s and really believing this. One guy started teasing me. When I researched him, I found out he already had a girlfriend. So I ignored him. However, he posted something for me saying, if a person doesn't care about you, leave them alone. Our night brow. I've never seen a thin person drinking a Diet Coke. I said to my wife, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here, walk out and put that double-barrel shotgun and fire to blasts outside the house. While working in the Ethiopian highlands, a colleague deadass told me how much she loved the way that everybody chose to walk everywhere instead of driving. They didn't leave the cruiser at home, they're poor. Karen. I made too much money last year because they had to pay income taxes instead of getting a refund. My guess is Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and Bill Gates never said that. Was having a debate with a misogynist who said that women are the cause of natural disasters, world wars, and poverty. BC those problems didn't exist until women started fighting for their rights.